Why are people upset over the new capital gains tax when it clearly states it's only for individuals making $400K a year? Because rich people on TV told them to be mad about it. Because one day my bosses who would pay me below minimum wage if they could might finally decide that they have enough money and let me earn millions too, and why do I don't want to pay some dumb tax? Sarcasm. The common clay of the New West. You know, morons. My biggest issue is the unrealized gains. That is money still in flux and could be all lost within a day. That's why it's been standard practice to only tax it when it's withdrawn or dividends are paid. I personally am disturbed mostly over the unrealized gains tax. If the super rich have to start selling off stocks to pay down tax liabilities, it will nail the stock market, which includes retirement accounts. It will also open the door for the possible future addition of unrealized losses being used to offset taxable income, resulting in less taxes paid. The principle of taxing unrealized gains is just wrong. Once you have opened the doors to it, they will only do it more and more. I only see an issue with taxing unrealized gains, even if it would never impact me personally. The idea of taxing people on securities that could drop significantly in value at any time just seems wrong. Which country is this about? They have aligned with an anti-tax political ideology for their own reasons, so convincing other people to be anti-tax benefits them regardless of the specific policies. Because we have a spending problem. For example, when the income tax was established in 1913, via the 16th Amendment, it was supposed to only be a one tax on the wealthiest one of Americans. Fast forward 110 years and I, an average blue-collar American, am losing nearly 30 of my gross annual income to the various income taxes. Eventually this will come to bite us peasants in the ass. Not to say that I don't think that the rich shouldn't pay more in taxes, but people shouldn't judge a policy solely by whether it's beneficial to them individually. The income tax was originally only for rich people, now it's everyone. Once you give the government the power, it will always expand. Taxes are introduced under the guise of, this is only for rich people. Years down the line, you're suddenly subject to it as well. Federal income tax originated in 1913, with individuals making $3K and couples making $4K being exempt. Today, those numbers for exemption would be $95K and $126K. Now you pay federal income tax starting at $11K. Taxes trickle down. If this happens today, middle-class people will be paying unrealized capital gains taxes in 30 years. The government doesn't need more tax money, they need to be more effective in what they already receive and spend. I'm against it, and not because of any illusions that I'm gonna be rich someday. Basically how I'm reading the situation is, there are loopholes that the rich exploit to not pay as much taxes. And rather than work on closing those loopholes, they are opening up a whole new way to tax people and saying, trust me bro, well only apply it to the rich. Because it just means more for the fatty boys to waste, that's why. 1. Because the last tax change was supposed to only be aimed at the rich, and yet, in practice, hiring all those agents mostly resulted in more enforcement on regular folks. 2. Programs to tax the rich or help the working class pretty routinely do the opposite. Skepticism is sane here, since most the history of such programs have included interesting ways to do the opposite. 3. Inflation being what it is, any flat total is going to become relevant to the working class over time. Oh, it will take a few decades at the present rate. But while $400K a year is a lot now, look at prices today compared to what they were a few decades ago. This is absolutely a long-term trap that will make retirement more difficult for people who are young right now. It's been said often, in the US, there are no poor people, just temporarily embarrassed millionaires in the making working for minimum wage. Because they think they are embarrassed soon to be millionaires. Maybe because people of all income levels are realizing that we don't have a taxing the rich problem, but a spending problem.